Now let's move on to the next example. It's about student information. It has student ID, it has student name, student score, and the grade. And we are interested in knowing the student grades. Let's assume that we already know the grading scale, and that's what you see over here. It's by score range and grade. Now the student score information is in both of these tables, over here and over here. So we can use a VLOOKUP function to find the grades. But whenever we see a range in this criteria table, as here, we need to first rearrange this table as seen over here, which is also sorted by the first column, which is the score in this case, by ascending order before using a VLOOKUP function. Otherwise, it will not produce the correct results. Now let's learn a little about this table. The first row means a score that is greater than equal to 0 and less than 40 would produce a grade of F. And the second row means a score that is greater than or equal to 40 and less than 70 would produce a grade of D. And the final row means a score that is greater than or equal to 90 would produce an A. So if we are interested in Lisa's grade, what we do is go here, type equal, type VLOOKUP, open parenthesis, refer to Lisa's score, which will always be the common column to both of these tables, comma, select grading scale range without headings, comma, and type the column index number in this grading scale, which will be 2, comma, type true, because this is what should be used whenever the criteria table is associated with ranges or when we are just satisfied with approximate values as outcome. Then close parenthesis, hit enter. So that would produce a grade A for Lisa. Let's check to make sure whether this is a correct answer. Now Lisa has a score of 96 and the 96 would fall over to this row because 96 is greater than or equal to 90 and that will be an A. So it has produced the correct results. Let's copy this formula to the rest of the cells after fixing the criteria range. So it has given the grades for the rest of the students. Now let's go to the first cell, and in this formula, whenever the fourth input is a true, we could ignore typing that. So let's delete it, but still it would produce the correct results. Let's hit enter and there you go. Still it has given the grade A. And in the formula you don't see a true. So whenever you are using a true as the fourth input, you could always ignore typing the true. You could only have the first three inputs. Now let's go to the first example. It doesn't matter whether the criteria table, which is the salary scale table in this case, is sorted or not, because we are looking for exact values as outcomes in this example. A few things to keep in mind. If you look for something that is not in this table, then it would give an error. Let's make Barbara as an analyst. So there you go, it produced an error because an analyst is not found in this criteria table. In the second example, it is mandatory that this criteria table is sorted by the first column in ascending order, otherwise it would not produce the correct results. For example, if this criteria table, which is the grading scale, is not sorted by the first column in ascending order, as in this case where 70 is before 40 and so on, you could see it has not produced the correct results. Over here, Steven's score is 73. He should have got a C as per this table, but it has produced a grade of D. So the criteria table has to be sorted by the first column in ascending order. Also in the first example, if we have spaces in the lookup value at the beginning, as this, it will produce an error as this. Or if we have spaces at the end as this, still it will produce an error as here. So it is important that we remove any spaces before using the VLOOKUP formula. An easy way to fix that would be to use a trim formula on that lookup cell. That is the D4 over here. So let's go there and we will use a trim formula on it. So it would remove any spaces in that lookup cell and it would fix the error. Also, the referring values are not case sensitive in VLOOKUPs. For example, let's make this supervisor word all caps, but in the criteria table the first letter is caps and the rest are lowercase, and it has produced the correct results. So this concludes the video on VLOOKUPs. Hope it was helpful, and thanks for watching this video.